What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to give a pretty quick update on my character in the Gauntlet and how it's been going. You can see here my character is number 2 behind Darky. I have pretty much been copying his build and it's been pretty good. I don't really like Toxic Rain that much, but it is what it is and I don't really mind it too much. But right now my gear is not the best, but I only died once so far. It was at level 40 and I died to Malachai. I will include the rip clip a little later on after I go over my build and gear and the growing pains of the build. But basically, this character is kind of strong at 5.9k HP. Toxic Rain is definitely not that fun of a build to play because of the delayed damage, and it's really noticeable. You also can't crit, so you don't have any shatters, so it kind of feels really limp, if that's a way to put it. Like, the skill has no oomph to it, and it's kind of definitely a league start skill. I'm going to show you my gear and you can see how budgeted it is, and right now I'm pretty much clearing like almost yellow maps with nothing in gear, and this is with 40% more monster life. So you can definitely do this in the league start setting. So let's go over my gear and build real fast before I show you my unfortunate demise. So what we have here is, this is a horrific bow. So this bow is pretty much +1 bow gems and an attack speed, and I crafted on another attack speed modifier. What I want chaos damage over time, but in order to get that I have to unveil more weapons in order to get it. And ideally I want this bow to be 5 link. I have another thicket. I've thrown around 100 fusings or so and it still has a 5 link. I also haven't found a harvest to 5 link is, so it's pretty much been a complete disaster. So this is the bow in question. Maybe while I'm making the video I'll have some luck, right? Let's throw in some fusings, and yep, it's about as good as I expected. Basically, complete disaster on that front. Rest of my gear is not too bad, as some life and resist. My chaos res is actually surprisingly at -1%, which is pretty good. And this amulet here, I have a different amulet that gave a lot more life, but I'm using this one here for the 4% chance to gain frenzy charge on kill. And the +1 frenzy charge is actually very, very strong. And because my damage is so bad, because I'm still on a 4 link, this actually helps out a lot. So my quiver is pretty much just a life resist, and I crafted on regen, life regen, and mana, because life regen is pretty important. We only have 204 life regen per second, and it doesn't feel very good if you have no regen at all, so I crafted that on and it helped out a little bit. But mainly this quiver is pretty much there for the life and chaos resist. I did get lucky and gambled Gwenin to get Belly of the Beast. It's actually not too badly rolled. I do need to quality all my gear up. I could also divine it to get a higher % life. And of course it is still 4 linked. I might try to 6 socket this. I don't really have any jewelers extra. But right now this has my Toxic Rain Ballista Totem set up. Now this is my ring. Pretty much some more Chaos Res ring with some life. And then here's another life int ring with resist. It does have a socket open, so I was able to put flesh and stone. And I couldn't really chrome this helmet to red. So boots, these are pretty generic boots. I did do the Uber Lab and I got some bad enchants and crit. If you haven't crit recently, it's literally completely useless. These pair of boots are pretty bad. It's life, tri-res, and I crafted move speed. Not really pleased with them. I crafted this leather belt with a essence, I think misery essence or whatever. I basically got a bunch of essences, envy essence from my, from Tujin, and I was able to get this belt, which is not too bad. I'm pretty satisfied with it for now, and I found this gloves in Foothills while I was farming cluster jewels, and it's tri-res 88 life, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So overall my gear is pretty good for life, but the main downfall of my gear is the fact that my damage is low because I don't have +2 bow gems or +3 bow gems, and I don't have a 5 link on either my chest or bow. But sooner or later that will fix itself. I will find a harvest. I will get the 5 links. In the end, SSF, it is RNG in the beginning, but the more you play, the more it will balance out. So I just need to stay focused on staying alive. And now for people asking about the tree, this is pretty much the tree. So I initially went out this way. I did copy Darky, and by going out this way, you get more damage. for like shattering steel and splitting steel. And you're able to go up here to get more damage nodes immediately, which helps out the early leveling process a lot. Now, I did fill out over here to get these damage nodes. I'm trying to get these damage nodes up here because the damage is actually quite a bit of an issue. Eventually, you want your cluster jewel chaos here, but I was unable to farm it in foothills. So, basically, the tree is pretty much done in terms of what I need. Will probably pick up these duration nodes as it does help out Toxic Rain a lot. And basically, this build is pretty cookie cutter. You do have the 20% avoid ailments here, and then you have 50% here for freeze, chill, and shock. So overall, that comes out to 70%, and eventually we can get the next 20% on our chest piece. And then Annoy Elemental Focus, which is pretty cheap. I think it's these oils right here. So you can get these oils pretty easily, whether you do logbooks. Now, the one nice thing about Gauntlet is the fact that you can really see how well Expedition is designed for SSF. And you can really find a lot of items. And then Tujin actually helps out a lot, right? Being able to get 20 armor scraps is super, super nice, and it doesn't really cost that much to get it. And there's so many small currency that helps you out a lot. On the flip side is that you kind of run out of a lot of the reroll currencies. But Danning is pretty good, but I haven't been able to get enough artifacts. The problem with Expeditions is a lot of the remnants are extremely, extremely rippy in Gauntlet, so I've been avoiding them for the most part. But in this build, hopefully there will be another update video tomorrow and I'll still be alive, because it'll be pretty sad if my character died. Now I'm going to play the rip clip. It is pretty traumatizing as it's pretty recent, and my character just evaporated into thin air.
I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the rip clip, and I hope doing this video gives you guys some perspective on how SSF, Hardcore, and Gauntlet really works. Build is pretty much taking all the HP nodes. It really doesn't take like some amazing skill to survive, right? You just take all the HP nodes, you know the boss fights, you move around constantly, and anyone can get pretty high level in the Gauntlet. Raider's probably not the easiest class to do it because it's pretty punishing if you're not always moving all the time, because if you get hit by a big fizz attack, you might die. But hopefully I will be able to show you guys some boss kills coming up, because I do think this character can kill everything as long as it survives and gets the gear, and it will be a pretty long, arduous journey. I think it's around like 4 days or so to finish. But I will be taking a nap after I upload this video, and thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more mirrors and exalts than I do, and see you next time. Bye.